So, welcome back to muscle introduction number 3. This one should be really short. We only have a couple more slides to get through. So, this is all about muscle naming, how muscles get their names. There are several different ways that names are developed for muscles. The first way is the direction of the muscle fibers. So, if the muscle fibers are at an angle, it is called oblique. If they're straight up and down, it's called a rectus. Those are the two big different muscle fiber directions. Then you have muscle size. So minimus, maximus, longus. They'll all have these really Latin sounding names. Then the location of the muscle. So a lot of times we will use the bone on which that muscle sits to give it its name. As you can see, I have some examples here. Occipitalis is found on your occipital bone, and frontalis is found on your frontal bone. The number of origins. These are really interesting because we use the suffix seps, and seps means heads. So a biceps means it has 2 heads. A triceps is a 3-headed muscle. Quadriceps is a 4-headed muscle. So that is why the number of origins is really important to remember. Location of origins and insertions. My favorite example is the sternocleidomastoid. And the thing about the sternocleidomastoid is that it has origins on the sternum, on the clavicle, and on the masseter, or on the mastoid process of your temporal bone. So sternocleidomastoid. So we also use origins and insertions as a way to name muscles. Naming continued. We have the shape of the muscles. So if it is kind of a rhombus shaped muscle, or maybe it's triangular shaped, we will use the names for those shapes in order to name the muscle. So we have rhomboid muscles and we have deltoids and things like that. Then the action, flexors, extensors, abductors. We use all of those in order to get names because we have upwards of 600 muscles in the human body. We need a lot of different ways to come up with names. You will not have to know all 600 muscles. We're going to stick to the major ones in each body region. And bringing up what you have to know. For each muscle, you are expected to know the name of the muscle. You need to know its action. So what does it do in creating movement? And then, of course, know its location. So you should be able to point out where this muscle is. And that's all about really all 3 of these tied together. Often the name of the muscle is its location or its action. So that ties right into knowing those things. Its action is often really tied into its location. If you have a muscle that's located extending from the upper arm to the lower arm, you know that its action is going to be to bend your arm at the elbow, to flex at the elbow. So these are really closely tied together. And this should be pretty easy for you guys to remember. All right, so this is the end of our first lecture. It has taken 3 videos to do. This one should only be about 5 to 7 minutes. And make sure that you have your fill in the blank notes filled out for this lecture. And that if you have any questions, remember to email me and we can get those sorted out.